Hey folks, this is the Shield TV, a 4K HDR Android Smart TV adapter. Now, I actually have been using the Amazon Fire Sticks for quite a while and they are just as laggy as anything and they're filled with advertisements that just slow them down. So we do actually have an Apple TV in the main living area of our home, which is so much faster. The problem is they're also quite expensive. So I thought the Shield TV would be a good middle ground for my garage, which is where I also tend to watch content. The good thing about this is it does use an Nvidia Tegra X1 Plus processor and has 2 GB of RAM. If you get the Pro version, which is like a box, that has 3 GB of RAM. But as you can see, it's neatly packaged right here. We have the controller and the Shield TV itself. So let's pull this out of the packet right there. And yeah, it's a little bit bigger than I expected. It's certainly bigger than the Amazon Fire Stick, no doubt due to the fact that this has some beefier hardware inside. So taking a look at the Shield itself, first off, we have, as you can see, it looks to be like an SD card, micro SD card slot, which is really helpful. This has 8 GB of internal storage anyway, but you can expand it with that micro SD card slot if you wish. We have the HDMI port as well. And then if we just flip this over, along with the main power connector, we also have a gigabit LAN port. So this is not going to be dependent on Wi-Fi if you are able to use that gigabit LAN instead, which will of course give you a better connection. So let's pop that down for a moment. And yeah, the controller here has this interesting pyramid shape to it, which I've got to say I'm a fan of. I like this. But it's pretty self-explanatory. There is a shortcut button for Netflix, but of course, this streaming device is going to work with all of the usual streaming apps. And general navigation is accessible via this wheel here, which is clickable, along with the confirm button in the middle. Now, something I would have liked to have seen, as is the case with the Apple TV controller, is to have a rechargeable controller over USB-C. However, that is not the case. 2 batteries are required. The good news is that the back cover is locked in place. It does have a button here. One thing I generally hate about remote controller back covers is how they always end up coming loose over time. So hopefully that's not going to be the case here. And as you can see, Nvidia have already got the 2 required AAA batteries in place there. And yet we have the power cable, pretty self-explanatory, along with the quick start guide and some support information as well. I'm looking forward to testing this out. I will bring a more in-depth review once I have done so. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.